The 15th Executive Council of Education Students Association of the University of the Gambia convened its second extraordinary congress at UTG's Farbar campus on the 15th of November 2025. This congress is aimed at creating opportunities for students to assess their executive members and provide answers to their questions. It was a heated debate all geared towards addressing the pressing needs and aspirations of EDUSA. Reporting for Fine TV Gambia, I am Binta Jalo.
Welcome back again. We are at the University of the Gambia to attend their second edition Congress. Now that the Congress is over, we want to have interview with some of the members of EDUSA. We are here with a gentleman. Can you please introduce yourself?
Thank you so much, Uncle Kekura. My name is Tumani Kamara from the School of Education, University of the Gambia, majoring in English language, a 300-year student at the University of the Gambia.
Now that your Congress is over, so what is your own observation?
Well, I have witnessed at least about four congresses now, two organized by the former Executive Council, that is the first in the Executive Council, and of course, this is the second one conducted by the 15th Executive Council. But then, yeah, it has went well, though we have some things that unfold of unfortunate circumstances, and then we are trying our all best as a students at the University of the Gambia School of Education to try to address some of the issues that were, you know, arise in the Congress. As a Congress delegate, it is our responsibility to hold the executive accountable, and then of course, the reports that were delivered by the Secretary General, the reports delivered by the Finance Minister, and of course, the Auditor General. So those were the things that we have some questionnaires for the executive members on.
If you are to make a recommendation, what are some of the things that you think need to be adjusted?
Well, first and foremost, I would say the standards compared to last year. You were here. I don't want to involve you into that. But then the organizational structure of the Congress this year was little bit low in terms of the moderation, in terms of the crowd control, in terms of the stage decorations and other stuff. So last year was way better than this year. So there needs to be an adjustment onto that. And also, when giving out questionnaires, these people have worked for 11 good months, and then the delegates are expected to ask questions that are very tough, to not just easy questions, because it involves about 11 executive council members, and if you are a delegate to talk on each of these, so I think two questions given to each delegate and then have to be direct questions and somehow needs to be changed. Delegates need to be given the opportunity to expand their explanations to the various ministries that they want to ask questions. I think that also is something that needs to be adjusted. And then also the crowd control, the moderation is a little bit awkward compared to last year. Honestly, it's since in the morning and now we are heading towards the evening. It has been a long journey for us. So it's something that I believe that moderation needs to be adjusted, and then putting things that are realistic so that we can easily have the Congress on time and be done on time, because it will not take that too long.
Finally, what will be your message to the general membership of EDUSA?
Fellow Edusans, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to be a Congress delegate of the 15th Executive Council. And then I believe this is one of the deciding moments for the upcoming elections of Education Students Association 2025, because a lot of things has been said here, and I am urging all edusans, please and please, anytime messages are shared from the IPRO ministry, from the secretary to various different edusa social media handles, I am begging of all edusans to go out and read some of these things so that they would know it themselves, rather than being told about people that X and Y or this and that has been happening in the social media handles. So that is something that that is, I think, is a need for all of us to address that. Yes, thank you.
Thank you so much.
My name is Ibrahim FM Sane, a finalist at the University of the Gambia School of Education, majoring in English language and a minor in history.
You've witnessed this year's second edition Congress. Um, uh, what is your own assessment?
Well, there is no perfection in every program, on every institution, or every process. Well, this is about students. There is a learning point. They are trying to come up with their ideas. They are trying to come with their logistics and their programs on how do they want to be governed and who is to govern them. So whenever people are brought together to select in people who will be leading them, you expect diversity in their views, you expect diversity in their opinions, but at the end of the day, they are all after one thing. So the push and pull you are saying is all up to one thing. How can EDUSA be better? So the only thing that I want people to understand is that it is voluntary. Nobody's been paid for this process. All you do is to do your best, bring in your ideologies that could, move in foster in the agenda of EDUSA and EDUSANS. That doesn't mean that you have to, whatever you are going to contribute, it has to be personalized. No, whatever you need to contribute has to be in conformity with the agenda of EDUSA as students. you know, we are all here for a purpose. That is to learn. At the end of the day, we will be moving somewhere else. So how we comport ourselves in this school, how we see ourselves, how in fact our interrelationship matters a lot. Because I always tell students, there is always life after university. So if I should meet the IPR of instance, and I'm not in loggerhead with him, and we meet in one institution, what do you expect to happen tomorrow? There will be that disparity, there will be that differences between us. Even whereas he want to tell me something that is very of importance to me, he will not tell me because there is that disparity between us when we are in university. So students should understand that all this push and pull is towards one thing. How can EDUSA be better? So nobody should take it personal. Nobody should be taking it beyond the university. Everything what happened here, I expect it to stop here. So basically, the Congress was a success because we have witnessed the other ones, but this one is less tense than the previous one. Despite all the hurdles, we have seen the solution of the EC. We have seen the activity report of the ministers. We have seen that the auditor have audited that they have done their best. So, and there is nobody who is perfect. And nobody was paid for the job. At the end of the day, they did their best. So what we can do as Edusan is to applaud them and to wish them well in their successful life in the near future.
You've witnessed the tenure of this current administration. If you are to gauge their performance, what are you going to say about it?
Well, as I said, there is no perfection. They did very, very well. They have created some collaborations. They have raised some funds. They have organized activities that are for EDUSA and for EDUSANS. So to rate them, honestly, I would rate them very fairly. They did very, very well because it was never easy. Imagine you are a minister. You are supposed to attend lectures. You are supposed to do assignment. You are supposed to do tests. But you have to execute your role. You will be at home. You will be called. Maybe you are doing an assignment. Minister, do this and that and that. And you are not paid for it. Maybe some of them are going to events. They have to pull out their own money and pay fare. So it was voluntary. They did very, very well. If I'm to get them, they did extremely well. Somebody doing a work, combining academic and other social activities, and you are still progressing both, it is something that need to be commendable. So I commend them. Commend them. Extremely.
What adjustment do you think need to be done to at least serve as a guideline for the incoming executive members?
What I have for the executive, if I was given the platform, I would have said that. Let them avoid these come differences. If they are to select anything that has to represent EDUSA, let them not look into CAMSI. Let them go in for neutrality. Somebody who is there to foster the agenda of EDUSAN. Very neutral. Now, the bills that they are talking about, they are delayed because of this CAM issue. If there was a neutral body, they will not take even a month. They would have been cleared with them. Something that is to take only 1 week is taking months because if you have that CAM, everybody is fighting for your own CAM. But if they have a neutral body at the legislative body, they will, that is the legislative body, they will have a very neutral body who, if you bring a bill, they will look at it at their own point of view, not at the point of view of their camp. They will not look what favors their camp or what favors other camp. No, they will look at what favors EDUSA as an association under University Student Union Association, University of the Gambia Student Union. If, for example, you only select people from SSC or from Renaissance, you pass in something that is not in favor of any of the camp, they will go against it. But bring in people who are very neutral. Bring in something, they will look at it, they will concretely look at it, and they will look at it in both angles, both objectively and subjectively. They will never be biased in their judgment. So my advice is to this 15 Executive Council, let them go in for a very neutral body that will look into the affairs of EDUSA, where there will be no bias, no biasness. Nobody will be saying that this doesn't favor my camp, this doesn't favor my camp. Let them bring in people, very line banded, very sound-minded, very reasonable in judgment, and who are very honest. This is my advice to them.
Finally, your message to the general EDUSA.
My message to General Edusa is that let us remain united. The only way that we can achieve our goal is to remain united. We can agree to disagree. Don't bring in a topic just to win the debate. No. Bring in a topic, disagree with the people, but at the end of the day, agree with them so that there will be continuity. But then if you want to disagree for the sake of disagreement, you want to deny for the sake of denial, you want to accuse because of you want to accuse somebody, it will not help. What will help us is for us to come to united as one body that is under one EDUSA. We move forward, foster the policies and program of EDUSA, and we progress in it. The dean is doing a lot. Wherever, no matter how busy he is, invite him to a program, he will grace it, or he will send a delegate. So if that man is doing that for us, what do we expect to pay him? He is not happy that his school is not doing well in terms aspect that the school is doing this. No, no leader will want the people under you to be in chaos. But at the end of the day, remember that there is somebody for you. Do as he is doing. Whenever you call upon him, he will answer. So if he should call you, respond to the call. So my advice, my final advice to Edusan is that let them remain united. Let them understand that this is a family issue. A family you may fight, you may quarrel, you may fight, you may malice, but the family will remain to be family. All these disagreements should lead to agreement. Don't disagree for continue. No, disagree to agree. So all these agreements should lead to agreement. Let them come up and drop their differences. Forget about the differences. Let them see what benefit EDUSA the best. Whether it benefits Renaissance or SSE, no. What matters at the end of the day, it is EDUSA that wins. No Kami will win. It is EDUSA that wins. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I am Banna Jaju, the current Deputy Minister for Welfare.
Can you tell us your own assessment on today's Congress?
Well, today's Congress, I will not say it is a success because it is not what I was expecting. Like, the outcome was not pleasing at all. Seeing students or delegate members and then executive members misbehaving, which does not tell well about EDUSA. EDUSA is a school that other schools look up to. So if we are behaving in an abnormal way, it is not sending a good image to the outsiders, which I believe we should desist from because EDUSA is a mature school and it contains elderly people mostly. It's just recently that you see young people in EDUSA, but in those days we have mature students. So now, if a school like that cannot accommodate itself, or let's say cannot cope in such a situation, what information are we sending to people outside? It is really not telling well. So one thing I will tell to my fellow Edusans is let us unite as one people. It is true we have camps in Edusa, and this as a result of what the electoral process. And it is not possible for all Edusans to be under one camp. That people should understand. Having camps does not mean we should be enemies. In fact, it takes an opposition to motivate the incumbent to do well or the ruling party to do well. If there is no opposition, then who will criticize and then give recommendations to the ruling party? It is really heartbreaking seeing people of different parties or different camps in Edusa creating enmity, which shouldn't be. And one thing we should also understand is there is life after election. Edusa is once. When election is conducted, after election, let all of us come together and work for the betterment of Edusa. That is the only way we can take Edusa forward. But if we want to keep that anger in us, like the things that happen during election process, if we want to take it to the council level, it's not going to help. That means each and every one of us will be there for our own party, which shouldn't be. After election, all of us should work towards the betterment of Edusa and not to be working for our parties. So, fellow Edusans, let us be together. Let us work together and then know that Edusa is for all of us. Edusa does not belong to any party as long as the school is concerned. Because when we are coming here, we do not come with any party. These parties are formed in Edusa here. So what thing we should understand is that we will go and leave this party here. And the most important thing is leaving a good legacy or living a good relationship with people. And then even after you leave, because you might not even know, you might even be posted in the same school with someone that you have a difference in terms of politics in Edusa. So what if at all we carry those angers in us, when we meet there, hope we will be able to collaborate and then work for the betterment of those schools. It is really going to be very difficult. So let us try and then unite as EDUSANs and then work for the betterment of EDUSA. Thank you.
What advice will you have for the general student body?
Well, for the general student body, one thing I will tell them is because it is always difficult for people to come out, especially during uh, voting to vote. Their vote is their right, and their vote is their voice. So they need to come and then vote for people that they expect to lead them, because this is an association and it needs to have what a leadership. So if there is no leadership, it means the association cannot go. And the students are the ones who should put that leadership in place. And that can only be done if they come out and then participate in the electoral process and also in voting in for the next leadership. Let us not be lazy, because it won't tell well while you sit at home and then somebody else voted someone for you, and at the end of the day you want to sit back and blame that individual. Let us take part in decision making and let us take part in electing our leaders. Thank you.
Yeah, I am Muhammad Mustafa Jain, a student of the University of the Gambia, School of Education. Yeah.
We've seen you also witness today's second edition Congress. Can you please tell us your own assessment on this whole Congress?
Yeah, in my own assessment, I think the 15th Executive Council organized such a Congress to be able to bring about what we call accountability and transparency, because democracy in of itself demands that there are supposed to be what we call accountability and transparency, which is in fact a strong pillar for what we call democracy. And as a leader, if you are entrusted with the responsibility of managing the affairs of an association or an organization, then therefore you must be held accountable of your deed. Exactly. So again, and then what I can see is that the 15th Executive Council, we are able to foster what we call dialogue and also genuinely collaborate and network with relevant stakeholders in education, and also genuinely collaborate with partners that are also willing to give their best to the Education Student Association. So I was able to see that they were able to register a tremendous achievement in terms of their partnership with the NAMI Foundation and then that of the Gambia Teachers Union, and among other stakeholders in the Gambia. Yeah.
If you are to make your own assessment on today's Congress, what do you think need to be adjusted?
What should be adjusted is for all educans to come together to stand on one voice, and then also make sure that we are able to help call it the Education Student Association, that is the 15th Executive Council, or any other council that we have in the position of leadership, to be able to achieve their aims and objectives and to be able to deliver excellence. Yeah.
What advice do you have for the general student body of Education Students Association?
My advice is to work hard and not to relent. And when it comes to the activities of the Education Student Association, it is a collective responsibility. Be it a member of the council or be a general member, it is a collective responsibility with all for all of us. Exactly. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, my name is Maria Makoli, a second year student majoring English language.
Uh, Madam Koli, what will be your assessment on today's Congress?
Yeah, anyway, to begin with, I just want to take this opportunity to thank the entire 15 Executive Council for the job well done. Though we are not paying them, EDUSANs are not paying them, but they really try. The council has really tried. That's what I have to say. And the other today's assessment, it was though a congress and it's normal. For me, I see it as a normal thing. Students arguing here and there. Yeah, it's not because when it comes to academia, things are not easy. People have their own perspective, so you cannot rate them with that, underrate them. They have their opinion and they have their ideas. Everybody is entitled to your own opinion, whether it is a good one or a bad one. So yes, that is what I have to say.
Finally, what will be your final message to the general student body of education?
The final message is for us to educate. As you see, the Congress, the number is very small. People are not taking these things seriously. Yeah, so EDUSA is ours. We all have to come out. Whenever the council calls for, we have to come out and we participate. We know where our money is going to and what the council is doing. It is very, very important. So I am urging all EDUSANs to take part in the activities of the council, whether this council or the upcoming council that is coming. Yes, thank you so much.
My name is Modu Dimane, a fourth year student on the School of Education, University of the Gambia.
Can you tell us your own assessment on today's Congress and what do you think need to be adjusted?
Yeah, my assessment of today's Congress is going to be based on the performance of the people that we have entrusted with our leadership, that is the Executive Council. I would wish, first and foremost, to thank them for making sure that there is a particular provision of the Constitution of EDUSA that they made sure that it was uh, observed to the letter. Because if you look at Section 24 of the EDUSA Constitution, which says that the first subsection says that the association shall hold two congresses before in every academic year. So they had held the first one, that was the previous one that you came here to cover, and this one also is held today. So my assessment of it is that based on the function of the Congress, according to the reports that were given by the Secretary General, the Finance Minister, and the Auditor General. Yeah, the Congress is very good. It's excellent. That is my observation. And the lapses also that I have observed as far as the Congress is concerned is the failure to exercise restraint from some of us with the Congress delegates. But nonetheless, that is normal in every democratic dispensation. Sometimes issues are raised that are contradictory or conflicting to two opposing beliefs or two opposing camps. So that is normal as far as democratic uh, 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 politics is concerned. Yeah.
What will be your message to the general education?
Yeah, my message to the general educans is that I will first of all thank them for attending the Congress, sacrificing their time, their resources, and also energy to be here with us since in the morning up to this time. So they deserve a commendation for that. So aside from that, I would also advise myself and advise them that let us not relent. Let us not relent because EDUSA is a sub association within the university that serves as an example for many sub-associations within the University of the Gambia. So that being the case, let us just be exemplary in whatever we do, be it in our conduct, personal conduct, or be it in our execution of policies, so long as the leadership of the association is concerned.
Thank you, sir. Ibrahim, what is your own assessment on today's Congress?
Yeah, Alhamdulillah, that's what we are planning since we took up the office, and then we always prepare for the Congress. This is the second Congress of the 15th Executive Council, and it's supposed to be a day where we will going to remember in a history. But along the line, nobody knows what will happen. So that was a mixed feeling. Emotions were poured out. At the end of the day, everything it went well as the way we planned it. But during the Congress itself, the presentations and other stuff, Alhamdulillah, the educans were there to listen to the 15th Executive Council. We took office in December, and until now in November, we're here to deliver to them that this is what we have achieved. And according to the auditor reports, the council achieved 100% success when it comes to policy delivery. So Alhamdulillah, everything went well. Along the line, you are there. There are some brouhahas that took place. Yeah.
You are to make any adjustment, what do you think need to be adjusted so that you can benefit the next incoming executive members?
Yeah, this is a very important question when you come to student leadership. There are a lot of things in human life that need to be adjusted. The only perfection that we have is the God, but apart from God, no one is perfect. No creation is perfect. So when you come to the leadership, especially the question that you ask, in my area, for example, when you come to communication, there are a lot of things that we need to adjust in it. Because right now we are moving into a digital world, and then we have to find out how many people access to our information that we share. If you look at the turnout of the Congress, is not promising because we cannot have the quorum around 9. That's why we are having the delay up to 10, 11 before we start the Congress. So to pass the information is one of the most difficult things to the University of the Ghana students, especially those that are not having the classes to come and attend the programs. So what I will suggest to the next council that are coming, especially the information minister, to figure it out from them, what is the reason, what is the motive, why when we call the students to come and attend their own program and they are not turning out. So that is not only EDUSA, but even other councils, they also face similar problem. So these are collective things, inform a friend, tell a friend, so that we can have a turnout that we are looking for. So when you come to generally, the council, certain things that if I try to do this, even is in line with the rules and regulations, and but in tone it will harm the general student body. It's better you go for things that will bring unity, the things that will bring benefit to every single students that are in the University of the Gambia. So there are certain things that that very well the outcome. For example, what happened, in the council, we all know, and during the Congress also, what happened, there are certain things is avoidable, but because of the nature of the human beings, you never know at the end of the day it happens the way it happens. And that is not what we plan for as a council. And as a spokesperson of the council, that's not what we want. We all want today to be the best day, to be the day that we are going to remember even when we leave the office. Because there are council members that finish their studies at the University of the Gambia, and after the exam they are leaving. Some they're done with their studies. They are just waiting for the handing over to collect their attestation. So if things don't go well at the Congress, tomorrow if you meet with those people, it's going to be very, very difficult for you to shake hands with them. So there are a lot of things that need to be adjusted. Yes.
Finally, what will be your final message to the general education?
Yeah, educans, yeah, when we come to school of education, one thing we have to understand is that we are all one family, and then we should not allow the camp to divide us. Yeah, true, it's true. The politicians like me come through a camp, but once you assume the office, you are no more there for the camp, because we all know one. For myself, I know very well it's not only my camp that voted for me to be in the office. Other people also voted, so that's why I have the majority, and then I become the minister today. So we have to come one. We forget about the camp issue after election. We should forget about this camp issue. Our job is very, very difficult. If we go to the social media, our WhatsApp group, everyday campaign, everyday counter message, everyday problem. That should not be happening. Campaign should finish the day the results are announced, and then everybody go back to your students' life, and we see school of education first than any other thing. So that's what I have. Let's be one. We are here for everybody. Thank you, Fine TV.
Thank you so very much, Fine TV, our incredible partners from the beginning of creation. So when I say creation, is from the creation of EDUSA, because we must have to be very proud of you. You are always here with us. Thank you so very much. My name is Alasan Jai, president of the 15th Executive Council of EDUSA. And of course, I have served as an education minister in the 14th Executive Council. Yeah, student leader, writer, public speaker, and more. Yeah. We've witnessed another stunning congress that is organized by Education Students Association. This one is under your leadership. What will be your assessment on today's congress? Yes, today's Congress was very fantastic. We are living in a world of democracy, opinion, views, objections, suggestions, So wherever there is in such things are in place, of course, you expect nothing short of an intellectual discourse that, welcome narratives, opinions, and how do I call it? Opinions, recommendations from different people. So today's Congress was one of a kind, yeah, considering the democratic process where views, opinions are respected, and of course, people were given the opportunity to speak. Yeah, we've seen even the situation was tense. You were able to manage yourself as a leader. You were able to put yourself together. Can you tell us how were you able to do that? Yes, it's difficult to be frank with you. And I have made it very clear. Managing adult attitudes is not something that anybody can do. Every adult has their own attitude. So if they choose to go against the law, you cannot do anything unless to make the law go against them. That is the law.
act accordingly. But then I want to tell you one thing: student leadership is one of the most difficult things to do because there are situations where you know that even the law will not be able to control the attitudes of students because in student leadership there is no standing army, there is no standing police, there is no established judiciary court that can control or shape the behaviors of people. So this is what makes it very difficult. I have been into this system. I have been into criticisms from the time I contested for the education minister. I became the minister. For me, I think I have been a center of criticism, and that has always made me grow, and that has always learned me to have that patience. Okay, that have always made me understand that yes, people with their views, with their opinions, adults, you cannot regulate their attitudes as a leader. So long there is no standing army or standing police that could handle some misbehaviors or some constitutional breaches, yeah, it's difficult. So that is why student leadership is the greatest experience one can ever have. Yeah, it teaches you patience, it teaches you courage, it teaches you commitment, and then it make you grow a thick skin. So me, I'm no stranger. I'm no stranger to critics, insults. Yeah, critics maybe sometimes you can even call them constructive or constructive, even insults. I am no stranger to insults because people come to my DM and insult me. And they are here today. I see them at the Congress. Yeah, I have screenshot of those insults. And these are people that I have no issue with. You just view my status, you tag me and you insult. I will not reply. I will not respond. I just screenshot it and then keep it. So we are used to these things because we are into it. For me, since I enter university, I'm into this system. So I'm part of the system. They can say critics are not, it's challenging. But we learn along the way. We are patient, cautious. We we learn to respect opinions, and then we also manage our emotions. Because sometimes it's difficult. What you hear from people is what you not may expect from them. And I am no computer or I'm no God who can program the minds of other people. So this is it. I think the Congress was democratically conducted. Opinions were shared, accepted. Despite everything, I was able to be calm because I know attitudes are things that I cannot determine. Yeah.
Finally, what will be your final message to the general student body of EDUSA?
Yes. Educants, they have always trusted me. In leadership, there is always that little few that will be making all the noise, all the criticisms against you. But then, for my case, I am happy because educants like me. Yeah, they trust me and I've given them all. And a manifestation of this was the reflection of the education minister performance, which I committed 100% policy. And council, now this is not me, but I led an entire council that has also achieved 100% policy. So this is about, it has never happened in EDUSA. I was the first to get 100% as a minister. It has never happened. I came as a president. I became the first president to have 100% council. It never happened. Not only that, I have forged the greatest partnerships ever in EDUSA. And NAMI Foundation is the greatest partnership EDUSA has ever had. Too many things, too many projects, So this is it. Edusans, I'm proud of you for giving me the trust, the confidence, the conviction, and hope in me. Now, of course, I am proud to come back and tell you we did it again, 100%. 100% policy achievement, 100% policy fulfillment. And that was what we promised you. If there was any play game in promise that are not fulfilled, then it is not us. And that is not my way. If we say let's do this, we do it. I never slept, I never rested. I push every minister to achieve their activities. And I've never in my life tried to block the activity of any minister. So long it will, because I was always working on the comprehensive activity plan. I followed the comprehensive. So whatever was there was what I was following to make sure this was submitted and is approved, and this minister should do it. Say, Mister, how far have you done this? Do you have facilitators? Can I help you with a facilitator? How are you doing this? How so? These are things that I've always been doing, and then back to EduSans, we continue to trust, the hope, and then the success is written.
is unprecedented. And for that, it shall remain in history. No one can eradicate that. And I am proud of that. EDUSA, for us, for greatness. And I told you, we will succeed. But I am not bringing that back because I'm waiting for my out night. At the out night, I will call you back and tell you we have succeeded. And you will tell the audience we have succeeded because there are other projects on the pipeline. The big bomb is just at the store here. That's the NAMI Foundation, a project for the baby center and then the playground. So that one. So,
We are very happy to have you once again. And the final interview will come after our night, right?
no problem.
All right.
Sir.
Thank you so much.